5 days after we waited 35 years for the hottest day in Northern Ireland, we would be back here with another record. I'm Stuart Robinson. I'm live from Sea Park in Hollywood, where hundreds of families are out on the beach. They're on the grass here beside me, sitting down, enjoying, relaxing in what is the midst of Northern Ireland's heat wave. So, yeah, a short time ago, 2 hours from here, in fact, probably the single furthest point you can travel staying within Northern Ireland in a place called Castlederg out in West County Tyrone, the temperature surpassed Saturday's record by zero point 0.1 of a degree. That took it up to 31.3 degrees today in Castlederg, and that beat Ballywatsicoc's big record from Saturday, which was 31.2 degrees. Now, of course, you have to go back to 1983 for the last previous warmest day in Northern Ireland, just to give you context of exactly just how warm it is that we're getting in this heat wave now. That was recorded back in Shaw's Bridge in 1983. And before that, the joint record was actually back in 1976. So we have occasional good sunny days. We've even had the occasional good sunny summer, but we've never had anything quite like this. And in fact, the disparity that exists at the moment is more stark in Northern Ireland against the temperatures that they currently are and what our average normally is. It's practically double in some cases what a typical July day could be here. Even though England, Scotland, Wales, and the Republic of Ireland are getting this incredible weather due to that massive area of high pressure that's sitting over the British Isles right now, the difference between the average Northern Ireland temperature and the temperatures we're getting right now are far more pronounced than they are anywhere else. In fact, Northern Ireland this past few days has had some of the warmest temperatures anywhere across the UK. So, we're enjoying the sunshine. Is it here to stay? Well, the good news is, yes, it is. If you are enjoying the sunshine, that is. And not everybody's cup of tea. I know a weatherman not too far away from here who is sitting up indoors today. He does not maybe have the right hair tone and a bit too fair skin to be out reporting like I am. He's in the comfort of a nice air-conditioned studio, I would say, right now in Broadcasting House. A lot of people, of course, are simmering and aren't enjoying the heat all that much. Tomorrow, there's more of it on the way. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. But I love some of your comments right now as well, because, of course, very often you'll tell me that it's warmer round your way than what the Met Office are reporting. Well, of course, that may be the case, and sometimes household thermometers and the thermometers in cars will often give higher readings. They may have other outside influences which are throwing up those higher readings. Or they could actually could be that warm, but unless, of course, the temperature is recorded in one of what these official Met Office weather stations, then we can't take it for official. A lot of you have been shouting in throughout the day, showing us temperatures in the upwards of the mid 30s in some places where you are across Northern Ireland. Leave us a little message in the comments section. We'll do a few shout outs while we're live as well, and we'll look at a few of your temperatures. If you have any photographs from across the country today of you and your family out enjoying the sunshine, or any screenshots of your temperature gauges, stick those into the comments section as well, and we'll get to some of them throughout our live update. It's just coming on at 6 o'clock now on Wednesday afternoon. And as I said, it's tomorrow, Thursday, that all attention now moves to, because this period of really sunny weather, this heat wave, I suppose it is now, best part of 10 days, we've been under these remarkable conditions now. But because the humidity has continued to build in the air, it means it's going to be really warm by night. Temperatures tonight across Northern Ireland will struggle to get under 18, 19 Celsius. That would have previously been a sunny day. That's how warm it's going to be tonight when you're trying to sleep. So maybe uncomfortable sleeping conditions. You'll maybe need the fan on full blast tonight. Not much in the way of blankets required, or even clothes for that matter. But the temperature is going to increase, the humidity in the air is going to increase, and we think it could peak tomorrow. Is most likely going to be the peak of the sunny weather and the hot temperatures before things start to get, I'm going to say, a little bit cooler. Maybe not the right choice of words. They certainly will get cooler, but it's not going to feel cold. In fact, it's going to not be until next week, well into next week, temperatures are going to slowly come back down to what we would consider being normal Northern Ireland temperatures in July, maybe in around the mid 20s. And the first rain chance, really, in any massive way, is going to be probably Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Forecasters now saying that it's going to stay rather dry with even some good warm and pleasant spells throughout this coming weekend as well. We're not just going to see quite as much sun, and we're not going to see temperatures quite as high as they have been after tomorrow. Friday's looking to be a really lovely day as well, but tomorrow, Thursday, is looking like it could be the day where another record high is set in Northern Ireland. We'll, of course, keep you up to date on that right throughout the Downtown and Cool FM social media updates. Right, let's shout in and say hello to a few people. Kirsty Donnelly is watching us today. She's got 31 in Craigavon. Hi to Lindsay Zaru. Everybody yapping they can't go on holidays because of COVID. Now we have a heat wave in Northern Ireland and they're still yapping. But that's our favourite national pastime in this country, isn't it? Yapping. Hi to Pat Grattan today. Said got a reading of 34 in Newton Ards. Well, of course, if it was 34, that would be the warmest temperature ever recorded in Northern Ireland. It has to be an official Met Office weather station, of course, for it to be an official reading. But as I said earlier, I know people's individual personal thermometers in their cars and on their kitchen fridge can often give higher readings, and I'd love to see some of those as well. Margaret Montgomery shouting in, please put it on all your stations to not take dogs for a walk unless you want them to pass away. And this is a very important point as well that probably hasn't been said enough. But of course, taking your dog out in this kind of heat is not kind to the dog at all. He will not, or she will not, thank you for that at all. So of course, by all means, let them out, and they got to do their business and get a bit of fresh air around the garden possibly, but out for a sort of a long walk down here in a park or a beach is a no-go for dogs. So please do look after your furry friends when the weather is like this. And of course, it is the kind of information we give out because very often, because we're not used to the weather being as good as this, we forget about things like that, don't we? We forget about looking after our pets. We forget about putting sun cream on, and we end up getting ourselves all burnt because we never expect that weather is going to be as sunny and be as hot as it's been this past few days in Northern Ireland. Temperatures you can see on the screen there, they've come down a little bit in the last hour or so. The record high today, Northern Ireland's hottest day ever on record, was 31.3 Celsius. That was recorded shortly after 2 o'clock at the Met Office weather station in Castlederg in County Tyrone. You can see there across Northern Ireland, temperatures now down into the upper ends of the high 20s now. So we've likely passed the peak of the high temperature for today. It's going to stay really muggy and very mild overnight as well. And then temperatures are going to get going from sunrise tomorrow morning and increase right through the morning into the afternoon. By the time we get back up to lunchtime Thursday, I could be popping back up on another Facebook Live to give you the news that we've once again, for the third time possibly within a week, having not had this happen in 35 years, another record high temperature could be reported in Northern Ireland tomorrow. If it's going to happen at all, tomorrow will now be the best chance of that happening. Today, we weren't actually expecting a record high. We were expecting temperatures certainly to get up into the 30s, but all eyes were going to be on tomorrow anyway, because the modelling and the forecasting that's been going on had always got Thursday in its sights as being the hottest, warmest day. So we're very excited about seeing what the temperature could throw up in Northern Ireland tomorrow. That would be quite something. Keep your updates coming in here as well. Let us know what it's like around your way. Hi to Gary Rogers. He says, enjoy it, everybody. We've waited a long time for this weather. Hi to Lynn Gibson, who wants a shout out for Victor and Jade and wee Perry today as well. Lafie McGawan has got it at 30 in Lurgan right now. Shout out for Gary Hutchison as well for shouting in. Puppy is not pleased with the lack of walks, says Karen. I'm sure, Karen, but Puppy will thank you in the long run, no doubt. And Aaron Murray says hello to everybody watching in today as well. Here's some more of your messages. Hi to Kelly shouting in. My dog's the same, says Christina McVeigh. I have to take him out for a pee as I live in an apartment. He's really struggling in the heat. Simon Lucas is on the Isle of Man. They've got it at 27 degrees on the Isle of Man. Expect you're all missing the rain, as my friend in Norfolk, her sister lives in Mayo, from Mary Cross. Thank you for shouting in. I'm not missing the rain yet, Mary. I don't think I'll miss the rain. Maybe I could certainly have a few more weeks of this before I would miss the rain. Although it is worth saying, even though the temperatures are as high as they are and the sun is out and it's boiling out here, don't rule out and don't be surprised or blame the weatherman if you do have a few isolated downpours today, because of the amount of humidity in the air with this blanket of high pressure that's being fueled by the unusual way the jet stream is coming at us across the Atlantic right now. This could build some humidity, mainly in inland areas this evening, where we could have some thundery, isolated torrential downpours, but they're just going to be hit and miss, and they'll be on and off as quickly as anything. So if you do have a bit of rain around your way over the next couple of days, that's entirely normal when there's this level of humidity in the air. If you think of some of the really humid, warm places you've maybe been to on holiday, I know a favorite place of mine is Florida. They can pretty much time their watch by the 2 o'clock afternoon thunderstorm in Florida, where all the humidity builds in the air through the earlier part of the day. It lets rip around lunchtime with torrential rain, and then it dries up fairly quickly again, and it gets back to sunny weather for the rest of the evening. I'm not saying it's going to exactly be like that, but there are a few places already inland and around mid-Ulster that have had some isolated downpours, and do expect that to be in the forecast over the next couple of days while these temperatures stay as high as they have been. Lee Core has it at 31 Celsius in West Belfast right now. Blue skies and sunshine and love and life from Leanne Lames today. Ballygowan 27 and a half right now. 25 outside Killylay. Ballytrim from Francis Sloan. Louise Rebecca has just gauged it at 32 in Saintfield in County Down. Thunder and heavy rain in Garva this afternoon, Nigel. Yeah, just backing up what I was saying there. Yesterday we went to Newcastle. It was a brilliant day out. It's 15 to 28 in Dunmurray. Sod the heat tonight. I'm melting now. I know it is going to be an uncomfortable night for sleeping. It is going to be one of the warmest nights of the year tonight. Okay, it's been the warmest day in Northern Ireland history today, but tonight will be one of the warmest temperatures overnight. Some places could stay as high as 19, 20 Celsius in the dead of night tonight across the country. So it's at times like this, a lot of us really would be crying out for a little bit of air conditioning, a little bit of AC, yeah. 29 Celsius in Newton Abbey, absolutely dead, says Andrew Arthur. Hi to Kathy Riddell for shouting in, and Melanie Kernahan has it at 29 in Ballymena right now. Roisin Hagan got clocking it at 30 in West Belfast. Hi to Helen McConnell. White Park Bay earlier was hot and around 30 degrees, and give a shout out for my boyfriend Ethan on his birthday today. Happy birthday to him. Anne Prosser says her poor cat doesn't know what to do with himself. He's fast asleep in the corner of the garden trying to find a bit of shade. It's 29 in Ballymena right now. Please give a shout out for a place I live. It's called Ballytrim, and it's 25 from Francis. Consider it done. 29 Leslie Ann has it in Ballymoney, and 30 in Craig Avon from Anushka Pritchard. 27 in Guernsey right now is Caroline Hutton watching us out on the Channel Islands. I hope you're having a nice afternoon there. And 29 in Glengormley, Newton Abbey from Tina Davies. Aletha McNulty has it at 29 in Armagh. Lynn Boyd with a live update from Newton Ards, 27 in Ards, and a slight breeze according to Kathy in Craigavon. I've got a down at me and feel myself melting. The glistening of the sun across Belfast Lough is just so special right now. It's perfect in that you could swear blindly if you didn't know that I was in Holywood, County Down. This could easily be south of Spain or Miami or somewhere like that. It's crazy. The tide's out as well, which means it's given really nice sand conditions through much of the afternoon for these people who want to be out on the beach here. You can see hundreds of families and people just enjoying themselves, having barbecue, taking in the ray, and hardly a cloud in the sky. Blue, uh, blue skies, pretty much 360 degrees around me. Just a slight breeze, and I wouldn't even say it's a comfortable breeze because actually, because the humidity in the air is so warm, the breeze itself is warm. So usually, when you get a bit of a breeze in Northern Ireland, you get a bit of a chill with it. You're not getting that. Got a little bit of a breeze coming in here off Belfast Lough, but it's actually doing nothing to cool things down. Just looking at some global temperatures this afternoon for you as well. We talked about Orlando in Florida. It's sitting at 30 degrees in Orlando, central Florida right now. It's been warmer in Northern Ireland today than Florida. It's 25 degrees in Los Angeles, California. It's warmer in Northern Ireland than LA, California today. It's 31 degrees in Las Vegas in the Nevada desert. It's been warmer than that here today. Castlederg breaking that all-time Northern Ireland record of 31.3 degrees. Looking at the continent, Europe, Spain, big seaside resorts, places like Malaga up to Madrid, and Paris. Temperatures in Northern Ireland typically 5 to 10 to 15 degrees higher than many major European cities that you would expect to be the sun-drenched places you would go at this time of year. We're just getting phenomenal conditions. And again, the reason for that is because we have an area, a huge area of high pressure, a bit of an abnormal flow to the jet stream that comes in off us from the Atlantic. That's what usually keeps Northern Ireland's climate really quite soggy, moist, and cold for most of the year. It's just been sitting slightly off kilter this past 10 days, and that's allowed this high pressure to come in, take control of the weather system, and give this really settled, fine conditions across much of Northern Ireland. And as I've said earlier, whilst Ireland, the South Republic, and England, Scotland, and Wales are getting really great weather as well, the Northern Ireland temperatures are the most standout ones, the ones that are most at odds at the moment with the seasonal norms. And that's why we're breaking highs, we're breaking records. We broke that record in Ballywatsacock off the Ards Peninsula there on Saturday when it hit 31.2. That was an all-time record. It didn't get its place in the sun very long. In fact, it only held the record for 5 days because once again, that title now has gone from Lochrees there at Ballywatsacock off to the other side of Northern Ireland. In fact, you couldn't probably get two further away places. Castlederg in County Tyrone on the west side of Tyrone, just before you come into Donegal. In fact, that went zero point 0.1 of a degree warmer just after 2 o'clock this afternoon, breaking the new record and taking the temperature there up to 31.2 degrees. But tomorrow, we could go higher than that. All eyes have been on Thursday since the start of the week. I've been telling you about it on all my updates. Barra's been copying me and he's been telling you what I've been saying as well. But tomorrow is the day that we could see temperatures not just go above that 31.3 set today, but significantly set a new Northern Ireland record for possibly a long time to come. Now, all this weather is great, and mostly people are enjoying it and taking it all in and lapping it up. And why wouldn't we, after being cooped up like hens in a hen farm in our houses for the best part of 18 months coming out of the pandemic? But there are serious sides of these kind of conditions in Northern Ireland. I know a lot of people were saying, bring back the old days when we didn't have to be afraid of everything and we didn't need to be wrapped up in cotton wool and warned about the weather and things like that. Well, the Met Office have taken it on themselves this time to issue for the very first time what they're calling an extreme heat warning for Northern Ireland. Now, you know, the Met Office, they use a traffic light system as well when they are putting out different weather warnings. They have a yellow, an amber, and a red warning, which helps gauge the severity of the warning. And this one's actually an amber warning. They've gone straight for that because they think because of the hot weather, coupled with the fact that because in this country we're not that used with dealing with conditions like this. It means that there is serious risk now to public health. We talked about the doggies and so on, but there is a lot of risk to people who maybe go out for a few hours, lie down, fall asleep. Don't expect to get burnt in this country. You will get sunburnt. This weather is is warmer than it is in those holiday destinations I talked to you about. You will burn. Not even the fair people, not even the ginger people. Anyone will burn in this weather. So please take it on yourself to sun up. The weather warning issued from the Met Office also warns about other things such as exhaustion, dehydration. Make sure you keep yourself well lubricated, keep your liquids up, drink plenty of water. If you are heading out and about, even into the back garden or just the beach for the day or to the park, make sure you keep your liquids up. They warn of exhaustion, of people just not preparing properly for these conditions, and these conditions will continue through to Friday at least in terms of the extreme heat. The weather warning is actually in place until midnight on Friday. So while tomorrow is going to be the day that might break the record temperatures, Friday in itself is still going to be another very hot, clammy, and sunny day. Hence that weather warning through until midnight, this amber warning of extreme heat for Northern Ireland. That's not the only thing. The other risk, of course, to public health when the weather is like this, and unfortunately, we've been reporting on some very sad incidents of people entering lakes and entering the water and having to be rescued, or unfortunately, in some instances, succumbing to the conditions when they get out into open waters, even waters going out into lakes and lochs that may look calm and very settled. Of course, what's going on underneath that water, you just don't know. So, of course, Met Office also warning people that are heading to the coast, are heading into any sort of body of water, to be very mindful of what they're doing, and only ever do it with safety in mind. You can see there are a lot of people down in the water here in Belfast Loch today. Quite a few are out quite far as well. But most people sort of just paddling in and around the seafront here and around the front of the water. Um, the other thing as well with the extreme weather warning is, even believe it or not, there could be disruption on the road network, and we'll keep you up to date on this through the next couple of days on Downtown Cool FM. We'll have had examples of offices having to close down, people having to come in, even people who are not working from home might ultimately have to work from home, not for the reasons of COVID for a change, but because it's just too warm in office places. Maybe they don't have AC, maybe the AC has collapsed. We've heard stories already of some of the road surfaces beginning to melt, and some disruption as a result of that. Of course, the sun in drivers' eyes, people's eyes. Take care if you're out on the road. The sun is very powerful. It's very bright. There could be even some disruption to public transport, to the railway lines, and to power cables and things like that, which are struggling to withstand some of the heat. Even some of the Downtown Radio Cool FM transmission network we were hearing today is struggling to keep up with the heat that it's never experienced before on transmitter sites on the top of hills. So there could be some difficulties in the world of communications as well over the next 24 hours as the temperatures look set to intensify. So that's what's entailed within that extreme weather warning, that amber extreme heat weather warning that's been issued from the Met Office, and that stays in place right through until midnight. So we'll keep you up to date if there's any extension or any changes within that, but please be aware of that. Right, just before we finish off, I want to get back to some more of your shout outs, and thanks to everybody who's watching in today and keeping your messages coming over on the live chat. Who've we got? Hi to Dorothy Nixon in East Belfast. 32 degrees on Dorothy's fridge earlier on in the afternoon. Kathy's in Limavady. Limavady's another hot spot. It's one of these places you hear about very often that comes up on the Met Office weather station maps. Of course, that's where they've got one of those weather stations in Limavady. So another 31 degrees coming in from Limavady today as well. And there's Jenny in Lisburn. On our fridge there, I can see, thank you for the photograph of your temperature gauge at 33 on your fridge. That's in your house, though. Don't forget, Jenny. And again, it's not be an official Met Office reading. You may have saw these little white boxes in the news. They've got these little weather stations pebble dashed all around Northern Ireland. There's loads of them, and in fact, they're in really unlikely places, not just quirky places like Ballywatsacock and Catesbridge and Castlederg and unlikely sort of towns and villages and townlands like that. But the white boxes, the weather stations themselves, are lit in people's back gardens, and they've been planted there, and they sit there, and the owner kind of looks after it and checks on it on behalf of the Met Office. Some of these have been around for 6, 7 decades, in fact, since sort of modern weather collating began, since those records began. And when a temperature is set, and you may have saw this in Ballywatsacock, what will happen is, especially a high temperature, something for the record books, Met Office will go out and inspect the equipment just to be sure that the weather equipment is not been affected by any outside influences and that it is working correctly. There was a record temperature that was set in a weather station in England a couple of years ago. It turned out that an ice cream fan had parked close to it, and the heat coming from the exhaust and the undercarriage of the ice cream fan influenced the temperature in the weather station, so that record was null and void. The Met Office have been down to Ballywatsacock the other day. They've checked the equipment there. It looks like everything's in order. It takes about a week for the official record to come back that everything was fine down at that weather station. But it's a little bit irrelevant now in any case, because it looks like that, again, once the official research is done on the Castlederg Met Office weather stations, that will actually be the record holder, well, for at least maybe the next 24 hours of 31.3 degrees. Hi to Francis, shouting in for Caroline Sloan today. Joseph Hewitt wants a shout out for Kerry, who's heading into town with him after work today. Yeah, it's certainly a bit of a beer garden kind of day. Heather McCourt, who's watching from chilly Texas. Yes, it's chillier in Texas than it is in Northern Ireland. What the hell is going on in the world? It's just crazy at the moment. Hi to Orla Leach. It's so nice to see this lovely weather and everybody enjoying themselves. It really is. It is pretty beautiful, and it's nice to see that the umbrellas that are out on the beach for a change are actually to keep the sun off and not the lashing rain off, which is usually the way in this country. Yvonne Swift says, get a drink of water and wear a hat. Absolutely. Keep yourself well lubricated, I suppose, for want of a better word, and make sure you drink plenty of liquids and stay hydrated over the next couple of days. Very warm and sunny in Carrickfergus from Lucy Bell today. Marie Scott says Ballywatsacock was a great name, though, wasn't it? It was a great name, and I'm a little bit sad that Ballywatsacock has had its record pinched from it today, but you never know. It could be back on the map tomorrow. Hi to Bridge Kinnigan and Fiona Grant, Gareth Sloan watching in. Tim says he had 40.2 Celsius registered in Dungannon this afternoon. He's going to need a 40-mile-an-hour road sign for that one. Yeah, good point, Tim. You may have seen my doctored road sign has been done for Castlederg, because I've said I'm not driving to Castlederg to have a photo done on a road sign. It's too far away, but it's now been changed to do that job and save me a little bit of a road trip. And Barra has conceded, by the way, on that point, that he isn't going to be challenge me by going over there either. He says he can't go out into these conditions. He's in the nice, fresh, air-conditioned broadcasting house doing his weather report this evening. No doubt, I'm happy to be here out and about catching the rays at Sea Park in Hollywood. Helen Nevin, a shout out for you, and Dominic McGoldrick as well. Nice of you to shout in. Glad you're enjoying this beautiful weather. Can you mention Michael Gorman, Barbara Lavery, and can you also say hi to Yvonne and Kerry and Alana, who are watching us in live tonight? Marie says it's 30 in Belfast at Purdysburn, Royal Oaks. Big Jeff, the tick man, has to ring out his pound notes, apparently. He has to ring out his pound notes Yeah, I saw some places saying that they will not be taking bra money in this weather, by the way. So just be warned of that. There will be places will not be taking sweaty bra money. It's not nice. Hi to Liam Scott and Rosie Scott as well there. Susan Elliott, thanks for shouting in. And Mary says, can you say hi? The black stuff my oldest son runs, left 3 still there. He will need. Mary, you're not talking or typing coherently. So have a wee think about what you're typing in there, and come back to me, and I'll certainly read that one out for you. Okay, let's leave it there. Just a reminder of what we're looking at today. A Northern Ireland record. I'm reporting to you live on the warmest day ever on record in Northern Ireland, and I have the sweat and all the sweaty bits to prove it. There you have it. That's Castlederg, 31.3 Celsius. That's the provisional temperature. It still needs to be validated and double checked by the Met Office, as I was saying a short time ago. Once that's done, that will go into the history books, unless again it is surpassed tomorrow. Thursday is looking to be the warmest day of the week. It will be interesting to see whether or not the warmth is going to be just widespread across the country. Certainly, temperatures widely expected to be above 30, or whether or not that heat may be concentrated to some counties, maybe more so than others. Maybe Tyrone, for example, that certainly had temperatures a little bit stronger west of the province than they were over here in the more eastern side of Northern Ireland. Will be interesting to see. It's certainly going to be a very hot one tomorrow. Tonight, before that, very hot for sleeping. 19, 20 Celsius. It's going to be one of the warmest nights of the year as well. And let me just finish by sort of giving you a rundown of what happens next. Friday is going to be another warm and sunny day in Northern Ireland. As said 2 weeks ago, I said this heat wave would be upon us. I reported it, I predicted it. A lot of people said I was talking complete nonsense. I said it was going to stick around for another full week, and that would be up until this weekend before the weather changed. Nobody believed me. We've been sitting under this sun now for 10 days. 10 days, and that's a long summer, let's be honest, by Northern Ireland standards. So Friday's going to be decent, hot, sunny, and warm. Temperatures maybe slightly down into the mid to upper 20s on Friday. First sort of notable change in the forecast is going to be this weekend. There's going to be a lot more in the way of rain and showers elsewhere in the UK. Northern Ireland, again, though, staying the warmest and driest of the bunch over the weekend. You're going to have a little bit more cloud cover around come the weekend, and you're going to have more in the way of temperatures decreasing down into the lower 20s, but still pleasant summer's days ahead over Saturday, Sunday. Same for Monday, and probably not the most notable change in the weather in terms of not just temperatures being back to the more seasonal norms, but also some rain in the forecast. And of course, the hosepipe ban still in place, and the Northern Ireland Water Service asking us to refrain from unnecessarily using water at the moment. So if you can hang on with that for at least another few days, it's going to be Tuesday by the looks of it. Tuesday, Wednesday of next week before again the temperatures return to those seasonal norms. And yes, our old friend Mr. Rain back in the Northern Ireland weather forecast. That's your update. I hope it's useful for you. Thanks for everybody who shouted in and said hello to me today. I'm going to just leave you. I'm going to just step off camera for a few minutes here while the live stream stays on, and I'll just leave you with this really pretty little view overlooking Belfast Lough at Sea Park in Hollywood today, where the time has just gone 25 past 6. Enjoy the heat out there. Look after yourself. Don't forget the weather warning is in place for this extreme heat until midnight on Friday. And I'll be back with another little weather update around the same time tomorrow to find out if we've broken that record once again for the third time in a week after waiting for it for 35 long years in Northern Ireland. Have a good night, everybody. Bye bye.